Hi, Dr. Nick. Hi, everybody. What's going on, people? What is going on? As you already know, we coming through with a good one. As you know, the heavy hitters is coming to the building Wednesday night. I am your host, Six Man K Styles, villain Six Man K Styles. To my stage left, we got Mad Mike Sports, the mad scientist.
Oh,
And down at the bottom,
what?
everybody put your hands together as we got the minister, Mr. Jew Talk Sports in the building. Sorry for the inconvenience. As you already know, usually when this happens, your boy end up oversleeping by the time he got up, so these fools had to call me to make sure I wasn't dead. But, gentlemen, how are we doing this evening? How are we doing this evening?
I mean, it's been a good week so far. Terry been cooking, so hey, he started off the week right.
We got a new name for him. We got now it's Pim Paul Terry. That's what we call him. Pim Paul Terry. Now, as we know, man, like you said, he got the intro going.
Pim Paul.
Pim Paul. Pim Paul. That's that Project Pat style. Pim Paul. All right, man, let's go and get right into it, man. Like I said, we ain't got no special introductions or nothing like that. But let's go ahead and hit it up with the those 3 words that y'all don't mind. That is the real roll call. Nah, that's me. That's me twisting in my chair. I'm trying to wake up.
Oh, somebody doing the oochie coochie.
Trust me, if somebody would do it, look, if somebody do that, boy, y'all see what this screen come back like this. Like, we got an intermission.
I was like, what in the world?
Nah, that's me twisting. That was me twisting in my chair. I'm still trying to wake up a little bit. As you already know, today's roll call, man, you already know we definitely got to give the shout out to all the members that's in here first. And so far, we have Mr. Darnell Partridge. Let's see. Just trying to see any more of the members in here right now. Goddamn. D Coleman in the building, Andrew G. Big Ant in the building. We gonna get everybody roll call, but I definitely want to give a shout out to the members first.
You say Michael Walker? Michael Walker in the building.
Michael Walker in the building. That Michael Walker. Man, I'm mad, boy, because my sleep streak was broken today. my sleep streak was broken. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it up with Mr. Joseph Thornton. We got Bubba Gump. We got DJ. It's your boy Fresh J Diaz. Prove It. Tev Sports and Gaming. JB. We got the therapist ATL. Home team. Blackberry Lorex in the building. K. Keyshawn Vlad. ATL Leo. Pat Norris. William Amy. Rob Banks. Terry Lloyd. Prince Kill 89. Ghost Peppers in the building. Blake the Snake. Eric Mack, and we're gonna go ahead and leave it off there. Like I said, we didn't say your name. Doesn't mean we don't fuck with you. We love everybody, but we gotta go ahead and get on this show. Now, as y'all been hearing all week about the moves the Atlanta Falcons have been making in free agency, you've got a chance to hear from me and Mike's perspective on the matter. But y'all haven't heard the minister bless us with the sermon of the free agency. Mr. Utah Sports, the floor is yours.
All right, so with free agency, I mean, as I said, Terry been doing this thing. He's been doing this thing, but I've been mainly watching for like the players that we've brought in as far as depth. I talked about this last week on what's the word? Like, we're trying to build depth and we're trying to build this team the proper way. And just seeing the guys that they brought in so far in free agency, I think one of the biggest signings was David Onyemata from the Saints. You get a guy 6'4", 300 pounds, can come in and play next to Grady, and is that nose tackle we kind of been missing on this team. The guy that's going to do a lot of the dirty work and did a lot of the dirty work in New Orleans. To me, that was one of the biggest signings, even though a lot of people are not paying a bunch of attention to that, that signing, because we weren't able to get like a Deron Payne. To me, he's going to do similar to what a Deron Payne would do, just at a more cost effective, you know what I'm saying? He's just more of like a poor man's Deron Payne. So that was one of the signings, like probably my favorite signing of all of the signings, because you guys know I love the trenches, but David Onyemata is not like a well-known name. He is in the NFC South, but he's not one of those guys that a lot of people are going to talk about, meaning in the NFL just in general. But he's one of those guys that I think after this season, you're going to know his name, because Grady Jarrett's going to be able to break out, because now you have a guy. He had 5 sacks last season, so he's similar to a Grady Jarrett, that he's not just a guy that you're going to plug the middle in the run game, but he's also a guy that's going to be able to rush the passer on third down. So I think that's huge, because we known in the past we've brought in big bodies, but they are not guys that actually can get after the passer. They were mainly just there to stop the run. And in David Onyemata, you're getting a guy that's going to do both. He's going to be disruptive, not only in stopping the run, but he's going to be disruptive in being able to collapse the pocket and also get after the passer. So out of all of the signings, that one to me was the one that I was like really shocked about. I didn't think that New Orleans was going to let him go, even though they're in cap hell right now. I thought some way they was going to extend somebody and do their best to keep him, because usually they're a team that they don't let their good players, their quality players leave, especially to go inside the division. So with us taking him off their team, I really think that that's going to affect their pass rush and their ability to stop the run. As much as I dislike the Saints, and we all dislike the Saints, for 2 years they didn't allow a 100-yard rusher. Like, that says a lot. And David Onyemata was one of the main reasons that one of those guys that in that interior that pretty much disrupted everything on that defensive line. And he also was one of the reasons why those linebackers that we talk about, Demario Davis, being able to come downhill, fly downhill without having to worry about guys, him able to shoot gaps and make tackles for loss. Well, that was David Onyemata most of the times. Him in the middle of that defense pretty much wreaking havoc. So that to me was the biggest signing, even though we had some really good signings, because Jesse Bates was another guy that you guys know. He was on our radar, and pretty much Twitter, any Falcons YouTuber, everybody was bringing up Jesse Bates' name. We seen him out with, our players because they have the same agent. And I pretty much picked up on he was going to be a guy that was going to be in Atlanta. And I really think having that guy, I always talk about the safety. He has to be that guy that has range and has to be an eraser. When you make a mistake in coverage, he's going to cover it up. He's going to cover up them blemishes like makeup. And that's what Jesse Bates is going to do for this back end, because he's a veteran. And he's a guy that's going to take the football away. And if he doesn't take the football away, as far as an interception, he's going to dislodge the football, because he's able to make tackles over the top, and dislodge the football. So he's one of those guys. We haven't had that playmaking safety in the last couple of years, But this season, if we do play a lot of single high, Jesse Bates is a guy that's physical, and that he's like that guy similar to like an Ed Reed, similar to one of those guys that's going to take the ball away, similar to that Earl Thomas for the Seattle Seahawks, where he's going to fly all over the place and make plays in that secondary. And that's why they gave him the money that they gave him. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, we had a lot of signings, and we brought back the key pieces that we needed to bring back. Caleb McGarry, you guys know I was pounding the table. You got to keep Caleb McGarry and Chris Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, some way, they were able to figure that out. Terry did his thing. The front office, talked to those guys. And one thing with Caleb McGarry that I think is going overlooked, with him not getting paid top dollar, I think one thing that's going overlooked is he chose to stay in Atlanta because of the front office and because of the relationship that he has with Arthur Smith, the relationship he has with the front office. A lot of times when you see players leave because of money, it's because they don't have that close connection. They don't believe in the organization or believe in the vision that the coach and the GM has. And that's something that I think Caleb McGarry looked at. I really think he could have went somewhere else and got more money, but I think he looked at, if I go to another team, they're going to probably look at me having to be in pass blocking a lot more than me being able to do what I do best, which was last year. We seen he's a physical offensive lineman. He wants to play in a run-first scheme. And I really think because he's built that relationship, they kind of helped develop him, meaning Arthur Smith and the guys that they brought in, they kind of helped develop him as an offensive lineman. And I think he just believes in what the team is doing and what the organization is doing. So all these guys you see that's coming back on one-year deals, Keith Smith, a lot of these guys that's coming back and they didn't get paid a whole lot of money to come back. That's because they have that relationship and they're actually building that winning culture here. And these guys believe in the system. If they didn't believe in the system, they're just going to go somewhere and just get paid the top dollar, whether they fit in the scheme or not. A lot of these guys, because they built that relationship with the front office, with Arthur Smith, and they believe that this team is ascending, they decided to stay for less money. So I think that that's huge as well.
Okay. Speaking of guys and retain, at the midst of this, just like it said on the bottom of the screen, Isaiah Oliver signed to the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, I've kind of had it. We, as Falcon fans, had to kind of expect this, especially with the Jesse Bates signing. You knew that he wasn't going to initially be part of the plan. Like I said, I know this is definitely hurting Mad Mike Sports a little bit because this is he done went to bat for this guy and came correct as far as what his potential was and how he would fit in this system. But I don't did they say anything about what the money was for him that the 49ers are paying him?
I don't think it's come out yet.
Okay.
Because it kind of just broke that he got signed maybe like an hour ago. So I don't know what the terms are. I just know they said that he's signing with the 49ers. So
okay. So I know, yeah. So I when I woke up, I like, it makes sense. I mean, we hate to see him go, man, but getting an opportunity to, like you said, play. Like you said, he knew if he stayed here, his snap count was gonna go down tremendously. So, hey, congratulations, Al. You did everything you could for us. What you got on that, Mike?
I'm not in the move for one reason. I just don't believe in Kyle Shanahan. I think it's just an absolute shit show in United Land. Um, Defensively, I don't know if they're going to be at all. Got a new defensive coordinator. Yeah, you got a few players in there. They signed, I believe, with Hargrave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, I like what they're doing up front, but like I'm just not a fan. Their secondary is a mess. I mean, they pretty much get a lot of their big plays up front. It's like it very seldom do they get guys make plays. But the corners are not very good in my opinion. They're okay. They're average. There's some decent corners, but for some reason I got a weird feeling they're gonna try to put him outside. I have a weird feeling they're gonna try to put him outside and make him something that he's not. So I'm not in favor of this move at all. Um, it's good for him to be able to go to a team that has opportunity to contend. So I'm happy as far as that concerned. But I don't trust Kyle Shanahan. I don't trust the 49ers defense, and particularly secondary. If they feel the need to turn him into a safety, I feel a lot better. But something is telling me they're gonna try to turn him into an outside corner, which he isn't. He's a nickel corner slash safety or a nickel back. That's what he is. And I just have a weird feeling they're gonna try to turn him into the IO that we saw early in his career. So um, I'm not buying it. Like I'm believing that shit, but I don't believe in anything that San Francisco does. They have shown they are complete freaking morons, um, especially with their secondary. Like let's just be real. Who the hell we even know in that secondary? Like let's just be real. Everything that they do is up front. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in favor of this move for him. I think it's a good move for him, but it's a good move for him because they potentially are going to be contending again if they get anything out of Trey Lance because
Yeah,
they had a lot of moves. They've had a lot of moves up front too, that with that offensive line. So just on paper, you're probably thinking Niners are going to be the same team, but something just like something in me is just like San Francisco not be the same team. I just don't feel they're going to be the same team, especially with a new defensive coordinator. That's going to be a transition. And there's going to be a lot of experimenting over there. So I'm just not in favor of this move at all.
Mm. Yeah, man. I know they just lost Jimmy Ward,
yeah, that's why I was
so
going with. Okay, I think
so
he
it
was in
could,
that
like you
role.
said,
Mm-hmm.
so so it could be a possibility that they may use him as strong safety, especially with Huafonga kind of emerging as a Pro Bowl safety. But the thing about Huafonga is he's better in the box.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're
Yeah.
gonna try and move Isaiah to free, or they just gonna kind of mix and match him. So, but that's gonna be very intriguing to see. And like I said, yeah, Jew. Go ahead. The other moves, especially, what do you think about him? What do you really think about them prioritizing the special teams in this free agency? You know, most of the teams really didn't prioritize special teams this year, as far as punters and gunners and stuff like that. So, what do you think about Terry Fontenot putting emphasis on special teams?
okay. But before I go there, I do want to just mention like with the Isaiah Oliver thing, you hit the nail on the head. Just wanted to piggyback on what you were saying about Jimmy Ward. I think Isaiah Oliver is going to be used more as a safety and play that role that you were talking about. Jimmy Ward was used kind of like their nickel. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
same thing will happen with Isaiah Oliver. I think that I don't believe they'll make him an outside corner like Mike was saying. I hope they don't do that. but you never know because I don't know who their new defensive coordinator is, like who took over because they lost D'Amico Ryans. But if they've seen how we use them, which I know that Kyle Shanahan, as much as we hate to believe that he still pays attention to the Falcons, he does. And I think he's seen like how we were using Isaiah Oliver, and I think that's why they poached him from our team because he does similar to what Jimmy Ward does as far as he plays safety, rover, slot, and I think that's how they want to use him. I think they kind of seen he went back and looked at tape of how we were using Isaiah Oliver, and he's seen like, okay, we lost Jimmy Ward. We can get Isaiah Oliver to do that on the cheap. That's the reason they allowed Jimmy Ward to walk on their team. So I doubt they use him as an outside corner, and I hope that they don't. I hope that they use him to his strengths, but I think we kind of unlocked. A lot of people talked about Dean Pease when he was here, like he really wasn't successful. But how he was using Isaiah Oliver was like the perfect way to use him. And I think that's how the 49ers are going to use him. But just to answer your question about like the free agents as far as special teams, Bradley Pinion, I expect a lot of the guys that we haven't even heard from yet to get signed back as well. I forget the one kid's name that we had last year who was a gunner who has dreads. Whereas number 28, I can't think of his name.
Mike Ford.
Mike Ford. Yeah, I expect him to be back with the team, maybe on like a 1 or 2 year deal because he was really good as that gunner, that special teams, special teamer. But I mentioned before, Keith Smith, when I did the video on Lorenzo Carter, those guys play special teams. That's another reason why we brought them back. But I think last year I had on one of my shows, what's the word? I got asked about the special teams. And to be honest, I really think we got a top 5 special teams unit in the NFL, to be honest. Last year, our punting unit was great. Younghoe Koo is always great. And even returning punts. To me, Avery Williams really stepped up last year. Not only them using him occasionally as a running back, but he also did a great job at leading the league as far as punt returns. He averaged the most yards as far as punt returns. And he had a couple times I thought he was going to break one for a touchdown. So he did really good at flipping the field for us last year. Both him and Bradley Pinion were great. Of course, we know CP set the record with the kickoff return. We was at the game against Chicago. So I can expect them to continue to build on special teams. But as far as us building this foundation, I think they're doing a good job of knowing what players do what well and keeping those players on the team. And we talked about this numerous times. You always talk about is versatility. That's what our team is always about, versatility. They want players that can do multiple things and understand how to use those players. And that's why you're seeing the guys that are getting re-signed. Majority of the guys that we re-signed do multiple things on defense, special teams. And that's the reason you're seeing guys like Keith Smith, seeing guys like Lorenzo Carter that are being brought back. I expect to see a Mike Ford, be brought back. And even CP, when we signed him, CP is not a position. He doesn't play running back or wide receiver. He does everything, and that's similar to a Jonnu Smith. I did a short video when we first signed him, but if you guys go look on Twitter, they basically showed a play where they literally tossed him the ball, put him in the backfield, tossed him the ball, and he broke like a 50-yard run off of just a sweep as a tight end. So that was another reason why they wanted a guy like Jonnu Smith. And that's another little move that's been made that nobody's really going to pay attention to around the NFL because the Patriots didn't really know how to use him. But I really think that he's going to be a huge addition to this team, not only because we can play those double tight end sets, but I kind of mentioned it in my video where now you can move Pitts out to wide receiver. And at times you can literally play Jonnu Smith like your number 1 tight end because technically on any other team, he's going to be your best tight end 9 times out of 10. So with having him, he just gives us more versatility, and it also limits defenses from knowing what we're going to do. Because how many times have we heard like, okay, when Pitts is lined up here, we're going to use him like this. It's a running play. If he's in line, most of the time we're not going to use him to block. He's going out for a pass. Where now you bring in Jonnu Smith and you move Pitts around, it's hard to know what the Falcons are going to do, whether it's a run play or a pass play. So I really like the signings, man. Versatility is what's key. If you look at these, it's all about depth and versatility. Can you do multiple things? And can you fill the role that we need you to play? But you got to be able to do multiple things to be on this Falcons roster.
Hey, definitely. I'm sitting here going. I'm sitting here going through all the lists and stuff about seeing who did what and who. I just had a question, and then I just had a brain fart at the same time. I saw something on my phone, and it threw me off just a little bit. But you know what? There was actually a question on here that I saw. I think somebody said that Mike Ford might be playing for the Bills. I don't know yet. I haven't seen anything. So okay, here it go. So now the new, I ain't gonna say rumor mill, but now the new talking point is Darius Slay. As we've kind of seen on social media, Darius Slay is getting recruited not only by Cordero Patterson, not only by Harry Douglas, but Trey Young. I wanted to get your take on that as Darius Slay, and what do you think is the possibility that he may actually want to come here?
We'll let Mike kick it off.
I mean, for me, I'm always against it. I don't like guys that's always on Twitter. So he's always on Twitter. That makes me incredibly nervous. I don't want him getting emotional and saying some stuff after the game, as he always does. Like Darius Slay, one of them guys. Like if he have a good game, he's on Twitter. If he had a bad game, he's on Twitter. If he feels like something on Twitter, like his feelings is all over Twitter. So I'm totally 1,020,000 billion trillion gazillion light years against it. Look, however many fucking infinity it is, and it can be. I do not want Darius Slay here because he's agitating when it comes down to Twitter. He says some of the dumbest stuff. Like he's a moron when it comes down to Twitter. He will say the stupidest stuff like, bro, keep yourself. Like there's certain things that you should keep to yourself. For that reason, I'm against it. I will say this though. I don't 100%. It's probably, if I put a percentage on it, as far as Casey Hayward is concerned, 30%. I didn't crash test dummy. I was like, for whatever reason, that dude can't. Ever since he's the ankles, whatever it is to keep Casey Hayward off the field, it's been a commercial for us as far as concerned. He had a few games where he showed us what he could do, but I'm not comfortable keeping him here. If a guy like Nielsen, Jerry Gray kind of focused or healthy, then I feel better, but I'm confident in him. So it's like if the Falcons can kind of work a deal with Slay to keep his ass off fucking Twitter, bring him in. Because he is a baller. He can play cornerback position. The thing I've seen, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think he can play the right side. I haven't seen him too much on the right side. He's a left side guy. Not Isaiah, but the AJ Terrell side. So he's a left side corner. I don't know if that'll work with the Falcons. So that's a thing too. You kind of look at. You got to look at that because he's like I said, he's a left side corner. I don't know if he played a lot of the right side. But if he played that right side, bring him in. Because like I said, I just don't believe in. I believe in D Alpha more than I believe in Casey Hayward, to be honest.
So it said just pretty much just stick with the guys you got as far as. I mean that made sense because the only way that I would actually see Darius Slay actually signing here or them actually pursuing him if it was somewhere Pim Paul Terry finessed another
Right.
goddamn contract.
There you go.
That's the only way in here I say that right there. But
Let me say this real quick here. Let me see this real quick. I think too. I've seen the best of Hall. We really haven't seen what he can do. I know he's a guy that can play that right side too. So, like I said, I want to give him opportunity to at least showcase his skill. It's like he been in that, but like I still think he has room to grow. I know the offense room to grow. So I don't want to like roll my thing. I don't want to throw them young guys away because we bring a guy like Slay. Because like I said, Slay is a left corner. That's he's not a right corner, and is that the right fit for him?
right.
I just think Darius Slay gonna cost too much money, to be honest with you guys. Like to be honest,
Yeah.
I think wanted to keep him. Philly wanted to keep him, but they ended up paying James Bradbury, and a lot of people were like, scratching their head on why they paid James Bradbury over Darius Slay. And I really think it came down to age. He's younger. Both of those guys are good cover guys. I think maybe Darius Slay is a little bit more of a ball hawk. That's why they call him Big Play Slay than James Bradbury. But at the end of the day, they looked at age, and he's kind of getting long in the tooth. He played a long time with Detroit, and then he now with Philly. So I think they kind of looked at he's probably asking for that top dollar. And it goes back to what I kept saying when I was doing my show on What's the Word. These guys that got the names, the Bobby Wagners, the Jalen Ramseys, the Darius Slays, the guys that's been to multiple Pro Bowls, they carry themselves like they're that brand name. They're the Fruit Loops. They the what I'm saying? They the brand names, man. They not what you got. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, they the brand names, man. They the Chips Ahoys of the world. So they gonna want that kind of money just off their name. And sometimes that's where it gets teams in trouble. And this is where it's gotten the Falcons in trouble. It's like we end up paying players that are a little bit over the hill because we like, but that's Bobby Wagner, or that's Todd Gurley, or that's, what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like, you might be better off just taking the James Bradbury. I'm just being real, or a David Onyemata. You're looking at, well, that's, Deron Payne, or whoever the guy may be that may be a little bit over the hill. Deron Payne is kind of young, so that's a bad example. Maybe like that's Calais Campbell. You know what I'm saying? He recently got released, and I'm like putting the eyeballs on Twitter to the Falcons, like, Calais can do some stuff for you because he can clap.
Hold on. Let me do the face.
Yeah. I'm putting the eyes like, yeah, man, like maybe we need to, see what we can do. But like you said, unless they can somehow like, look, we'll give you a 1-year type deal and it ain't going to cost us too much money. But it's a reason that Philly, they released him. And it wasn't because he can't play. It wasn't because they didn't want him anymore. It's like he probably asking for that crazy money because he walking in like David Ruffin. I'm David Ruffin. He looking for that money, bro. They like,
I'm David Ruffin.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he put in a name. I'm Big Play Slay, and they were like, all right, cut the cord. We can't afford, so we can't afford to pay that man what he's looking for. If you look at who the Philly kept, the Fletcher Cox of the world, they kept him on a 1-year deal, $10 million. That was just out of respect, you know what I'm saying? Because they drafted him. But Darius Slay is like a hired gun, man. Like they only had him for 1 year, so it's not like they have really any attachment to keep him on the team. So that told me a lot when he was looking for the type of money he was looking for. So I really don't think the Falcons going to sign him because he want big money. And they know AJ Terrell, they're going to have to pay him. You know, he's walking into his prime, and he looking at them like, if they go bring in a Darius Slade, AJ going to be asking for crazy money when it's time for him to get paid. So I really don't see him doing it, man. After they paid Jesse Bates, I really don't feel like it would be even wise to try to pay another player top dollar in the secondary. If you're going to pay anybody top dollar, it's going to be like an edge rusher, a proven edge rusher.
I'm laughing at my bad. I'm laughing at you. He said they fruit. They know fruit.
Yeah, man.
Like, bro, we got fruit spins over here, boy.
Hey, the name brand.
We got fruit spins. But Michael here said, what I like about our signings is that we didn't sign any Hollywood type players, and we're pretty responsible with the cap money. Yet folks giving us top grades. The front office is working it. Yeah, I mean, like you said, they not necessarily. Well, I think really out of all the names that were quote unquote the sexiest was Jesse Bates. Outside of that, it wasn't too much going on. Like you said, they're looking for guys that fit what they want. And yeah, I mean, we at the point in time, like I said, we ain't got no Fruity Loops. We not looking for Fruity Loops. We looking for fruit spins. But yeah, Darius Slay. Yeah, like I said, if Pim Paul Terry can finesse his way into it, I'd be down for it. But I'm kind of like, at this point, if you're talking about a corner position that's kind of like a premier position like that, I would just rather them draft a corner.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's the cheaper route. And let's be honest, Big Play Slay had a front seven that goddamn made life easy for his ass too. Now we ain't gonna play that out there. He's still great. He's still a great corner, but I rather go with the young guy at corner number 2. Like you said, either you draft one or like you said, the offer. He's shown you big playability at times, so give him an opportunity.
Yeah, Slade 32 years old, man. Jesse Bates is 26. Like, it's a huge difference. You know, they gave him that money, but he's still in his prime. Where you got Slade, like, at this point, his prime is going to be ending. You know, once you hit 30 in the NFL, they looking at you sideways. So that's why I said, like, yeah, he had that name, like he has that brand, Chip Ahoy or whatever. But the Falcons are looking at, can we get that off brand? But they can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They ain't that big name yet. Because Jesse Bates, like, yeah, he's one of those guys that had, the last couple of years had really good years, but he still ain't garnered as like a Honey Badger or a Earl Thomas when they were at the top of their game. So at this point, if you're going to sign somebody that's big name, they're looking for somebody that's still in their prime or, entering their prime, not somebody that's on the end of their prime.
Like you said, if they at the end of their prime, it's that's usually like if somebody's good, and then like I said, it's the possibility of that drop, that drastic drop the very next year. So I understand that. Like Sheldon Brown here said, get the front seven right. Doesn't matter who you bring in the secondary. The name of the game is get to the quarterback. Yes. We went from run the damn ball last year, and this year is like hit the quarterback. Hit the damn quarterback. That's gonna be the new phrase this year. Derek got a question right here. He said, do you think we get a pass rusher before the draft? Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick this one up right here. He said, do you think we get a pass rusher before the draft? And then I'm gonna go ahead and let Jude answer that one.
Nope.
That's all he had to say.
Nope.
All right, what you got, Drew? I think Mike just said just straight up no.
No.
To be honest, I kind of agree with Mike saying that as far as like we're not gonna bring in an edge because I think they're gonna draft the edge. To be honest with you guys, the guy we got from the Saints, the linebacker, he's similar. Like he's a low key outside linebacker. Like the Saints basically used him to rush the passer, and I think that's why the Falcons are bringing him in. I don't know if you guys seen that. I keep saying in at Falcons, Rashaan Evans at Falcons. Bring
Yeah.
because Rashaan Evans is the Mike linebacker. I seen people saying that this kid we brought in, Caden Ellis, like yeah, he can play Mike linebacker. He can, but I don't think that that's why they brought him in. I think they brought him in because he's versatile. As I talked about versatility, he's a guy really that can play like the edge and play outside linebacker. I don't think they brought him in to be the Mike linebacker. I really think that they might still try to use some of the money that's left because prior to free agency opening, they said that Rashaan Evans, they both had mutual interest in him staying with the Falcons. Now, that could have changed because now we have a new defensive coordinator, similar with us seeing Isaiah Oliver kind of walking free agency. But I haven't heard a lot of rumblings about Rashaan Evans outside of Atlanta. So because I'm not hearing a lot of rumblings outside of Atlanta, I really think that it's a possibility that they're trying to work a deal with him. And you know that Terry's trying to get it somewhere in our numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you did great as far as leading the team in tackles and stuff like that. But they want it to be a team-friendly type deal. If you believe in this organization, if you believe that you fit in the scheme, they're going to try to be, cost-effective as possible. But I keep saying, Rashaan Evans, bring him back, pair him up with Troy Anderson, because I really think that eventually Troy is going to be able to take over the Mike linebacker position. But until then, I'm at least bringing Rashaan Evans back for at least a 2-year deal because he's only 29. You bring him back. He played well enough for you. He knows the locker room. One of the leaders on this team. Caden Ellis is a guy who's kind of had injuries in his past. If you guys go look up, research, his dad was a former NFL player, so I kind of did a little bit of research on him. And his dad was a Pro Bowl player, so his dad was a really good player. So he has good bloodlines, but in New Orleans, he had a lot of injuries. But he's a guy, like I said, that can get after the quarterback and do a lot of different things. So who knows what they're thinking, but I don't think that there'll be an edge. I really don't think they're going to bring in one in free agency unless it's later on.
Hold on. You said dad played in the NFL. We talking about Luther Ellis, right? That's dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luther Ellis.
Okay, yeah, I remember, man, that big motherfucker always used to give me problems. But go ahead. I just wanted to make sure.
Now you good, man. I was pretty much done. Like that's all I wanted to say is like I don't know if he'll be the Mike. I see a lot of people saying like he can play the Mike, but I'm like I don't see him being the starter unless I could be wrong. Maybe Nielsen knows something that I don't, and he looking at him as the Mike to take over Rashaan Evans, like take that position. Mm-hmm. But I don't see it happening. I need somebody that if you're gonna be the Mike, you got to be durable, and that's one thing that I think a lot of people overlooking Rashaan Evans is that dude played all 17 games. If you look over his career, he's been a guy that's notorious for getting you 100 tackles. He gonna play downhill. Mm-hmm. He gonna do everything you ask him to do. So like that's the type of linebacker that I want. That's nasty and that's gonna play that role. And again, he's not the brand name. You don't hear Rashaan Evans' name around the league as a guy because he was cut from the Titans. He played at Alabama. He has, he's a great player, but he's kind of one of those guys. I really look at this Falcons defense like Cincinnati. If you guys look at Cincinnati's defense the last couple years, they don't have any guys where you like, oh, that's Ed Reed or that's Ray Lewis. They just got a bunch of guys that do their job and do it well. And that's what I think that they're trying to build with this Falcons team is we're going to get guys that's under the radar. Nobody really knows. But as a unit, they play well together. I really think that's what the Falcons, they're looking at their blueprint of Cincinnati and they're kind of going off of that we're going to bring in. We're going to have hard, tough-nosed, type players. They're not going to be the brand name guys that everybody has. You may have 1 and 2 here and there, but you're not going to have a team full of like the LA Rams, where they had Ramsey, Aaron Donald, guys that you know that everybody around the league knows.
Okay, so I was looking through the comments section, so I was seeing people talking about Zeke and him being released. Hey, oh. Hell no. To the no. I need brand new tires.
I love that song, K-Stop.
Exactly.
I love it.
I like Zeke.
Tell him that Algier was a 5th rounder. Tell him again that that Tyler Algier was a 5th rounder. Tell him again, because for the ones in the back that they keep telling me about these big name guys, the Zekes and all of these guys that they're the brand name, but Tyler Algier did the trick for.
Say Tyler Algier was the fruit fans.
Let me say this. I want to be careful about what I say when I say this. Okay, I really want to be really careful when I say this. The Falcons are like the New England Patriots, okay? They're like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are like the Baltimore Ravens. They're like the San Francisco 49ers. They're like the Seattle Seahawks. They're looking for all these shackles, bro. This is not the Thomas Dimitrov era where we're looking for superstar names to be the face of the organization. Okay? We understand that. So most of the players that we're going at in free agency have not been big names. Everybody probably say Jesse. What about Jesse Bates? Jesse Bates wasn't a big name in Cincinnati. Wasn't a big name at all. Nobody really knew him until the Super Bowl years. So like nobody, he come around. That's what the coaching, not coaching, but the as far as the fan. I mean, the players are concerned. He's not a big name at all. He just so happened to be the best safety in this new era, and they really couldn't pay him. But he's not a real big name. Look at this Falcons team. Any player that you see as a big name, chances are they're not going to be here. All right. So I want Falcons fans to totally understand this, what I'm saying. They are not looking for the big booty girl. They got a that's on Instagram. She banging here, she banging there, she banging this and bang. Look, she banging from the head to toe. Okay, they not looking for none of that type of stuff. Falcons are looking for wife material. They can cook for them, clean for them, take care of your needs, their needs, the kids, and you can have her for the rest of your life. That's what the Falcons are on right now. They're not looking for a quickie. They're not looking for none of that type of stuff right now. They're looking for longevity. They're looking for quality of life. This is why Caleb McGarry ended up coming back, because he was quality career. Okay? So look at the moves that the Falcons are making, and then it's like you ask us the question, we're going to be real blunt with you. I just like most of these names that y'all are suggesting, about 95% of the times I can tell you it's not going to happen. So it's like I said, it's not my opinion. I wouldn't mind a guy like Zeke because he's very good in the red zone. He's a touchdown guy. Mm-hmm. Right? Zeke is very good in the short yardage in the red zone. So I wouldn't mind having him. But chances are the Falcons are going down that road. It's like, let's be real. How many times we've been down that road to get, big names on defense? And do we really have to put up them names again, K-Style? Do we really have to do that to ourselves again?
I'm trying to have a good show right now. I don't want to go down that road again.
I want to piggyback off something he said, Kay. It's
Go
something
ahead,
I
go
would
ahead,
bring
go
to
ahead.
y'all attention. It was just something I happened to run across because our minds are always going as content creators. And I was seeing all of the names that were being released. And I happened to go across because I seen Frank Clark with the Kansas City Chiefs. He wanted to get paid. I don't know if they released him, but they were saying the rumors were that he possibly is going to get released because he's another one. Like I said, he feels like he's a brand name now. He's won 2 Super Bowls with them. He's been one of those guys who I think they say like he's second. He's either first or second in playoff sacks, like the number of sacks that he has. He's like number 2 or number 1 on the list. So I happened just to go and pull up his stats. And it was something that I wanted to go live and talk about, but I haven't done it yet. But this is the perfect time because the segue into that. K-Styles, if you have a chance to pull up his stats, I just pulled it up here on my phone. And I was blown away because I remember the night y'all talked about the backup for the Ravens being a Pro Bowler. So I just happened to pull up Frank Clark's stats. And you guys will be shocked because he's a brand name. He's a guy like we always talk about. Dante Fowler was a bust. Vic Beasley was a bust. They suck. Believe it or not, what if I told you that Frank Clark in 2021 made the Pro Bowl? He had 4.5 sacks on the season.
That's a surprise.
4.5 sacks, and he was a Pro Bowler in 2021. Last season, Frank Clark had 5 sacks in 2022. He didn't even have the most sacks on his team, making that top dollar. They had a rookie on their team by the name of George Karlaftis, a guy that I actually did a prospect video on, and he was, I believe, their first round pick. He had 6 sacks on the season. He had more sacks than Frank Clark. Now, I know sacks are not everything. We always say sacks are not everything. He might have got after the quarterback, but I just happened to look up his 3. He made the Pro Bowl 3 years in a row. And this is why I always talk about guys like Grady Jarrett that doesn't get the respect that they deserve. I talk about AJ Terrell, us being a team that over the last 5 years, we haven't won consistently. And our players, our good players, don't get the notoriety that they deserve because, okay, we're not a winning team right now. So they get overlooked. But you would think these bigger name guys, like when you hear Frank Shark Clark, you automatically think like, oh, he's a guy getting 10 plus sacks a season. So I'm like, well, let me just pull up his stats really quick just to see if his name is really backing up or the money that he's garnering or making or the money he wants. Is he actually putting out those stats? In the last 3 years, he made the Pro Bowl in 2019. And it's not to throw no shade on Frank Clark because I like his game. But 2019, he had 8 sacks. He made the Pro Bowl. 2020, he had 6 sacks. He made the Pro Bowl. 2021, he had 4.5 sacks. He made the Pro Bowl. So that just goes to show you guys, like when we say you need these big name guys that's going to, want this big money, sometimes they're not producing. As much as we talk about Dante Fowler, he's basically Dante Fowler. If we be honest, you go pull up Dante Fowler's stats. Last year, Dante Fowler had more sacks than Frank Clark. He had 6 sacks with Dallas. I believe the last year he was here, he had like 4 sacks.
Wait, what? He had more. Wait, whoa, 6. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda actually had the ability to produce more than 4.
Yeah, man. So that's why I say sometimes we hear these names and we automatically just stay because they're on winning teams. We really don't do our homework. We just say this guy's a player. But it's like if you go look at his stats, you're like, hold up. I'm like, this man made the Pro Bowl with 4.5 sacks. How? Don't even make sense.
And just like ATL Leo here said, he put the perfect analogy. He said, Falcons don't want no more IG hoes.
Yeah. So I just say, do your homework, man. Do your homework. Before you say you want a player, do your homework. See the players that they're playing around, and see if they're actually putting out numbers. Because a lot of these guys just have names. They don't have, like we say, our players are not. We look at Grady Jarrett like 5 or 6 sacks a season and say he's not one of the best. He's not up there with the Aaron Donalds. He's not up there with the guys that get all of the notoriety. But to be real about it, a lot of the times our players like the AJ Terrells, when Mike did the video talking about AJ Terrell's the best corner in the league, he might be the best corner in the league. If you just look at what he's doing, he doesn't get the notoriety that he deserves. But if you put him on one of these teams that get all of the pub, like the Dallas Cowboys, like the LA Rams, our guys will actually get more respect than they actually get here playing in Atlanta.
The Eagles.
Hey, we got a new member in the building, Mr. Game Bread Monk. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. But yeah, definitely Game Bread Month, definitely appreciate that. We all appreciate that. So you get the Pick Up the Pieces song. That's the official new member song. So anytime somebody become a new member, that song comes up. So if anybody remembers Martin, yeah, that's the Bruh Man song. Not Bruh Man, but that's the Hustle Man song.
Hustle Man.
Hustle Man. He said, "What's happening, Chief? I don't mean to intercept." He said, we go back like stocking caps and waves, baby. But yeah, man, like you said with the Frank Clark thing, yeah, at the end of the day, no matter what big names you got, everybody needs everybody. That's what the game of football is about, man. It's all one cohesive sport. Yeah, 4.5 sacks. Like, goddamn.
Don't sound like a Pro Bowler.
They living off their reputation, man.
Yeah. Or say, hold on, wait a minute. That's one of the 48 laws of power. Your reputation precedes everything you do. Y'all go read that. And Mike, go ahead and get that super chat for me if you do not mind, Mr. Game Bread Month.
Yeah, Mr. Game Bread Monk, as he swear. He pick up the pieces.
Pick up the pieces. Hey, I love it. I love it.
I might just watch the episode just because I want to hear that song.
Now I always go back to the episode where he was the wedding planner. That mama pulled out a big ass thing of chitlin loaf. I said, "Oh hell no!"
All right. Chitlin loaf cheap.
He was saying, it goes down easy and it never comes up. Oh man. But yeah, I see somebody said something earlier. I got hold on, where was it? I'll find it another day. But I think the Falcons may be more content now, as far as how they want to do it. I don't know exactly what the total cap number is. I know one website saying they right at 38 now. It's kind of weird to say that, like I said, especially with all the activity they have been doing. You're like, wait a minute, they at 38 million now? I'm like, bruh, you been finessing folks out here, man. I love it. Oh shit.
Can I real quick? This has been bugging me the whole time. Like I might have to rant on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Michael, never outshine your master. Really, that's law number one.
This really been on my mind heavy, and I don't like what's going on. I don't like this at all. I got to speak on this Jalen Carter situation. You're not gonna tell me that a man 10 pounds in a week. Okay, you're not gonna tell me that. You're not gonna tell me a grown ass man is gonna gain 10 pounds in a week. Okay, do you know how many bricks you got? Like how many big ass pizza? Like 10 pounds in a week, bro. How many of K-Styles have you? What the hell have you got to eat in a week's time to gain 10 freaking pounds?
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
Have
What
that
you gotta eat?
K-Styles is the
That ever
perfect
happened to
person to
me?
talk about this because K-Style used to be. K-Style was about he was a good 330, good 330. Dramatically has lost weight, and I'm talking about dramatically. So he's the perfect person to like. How's a guy gain 10 pounds in a week, bro?
Drinking. That's the easiest way to do it. Drinking.
Water weight or
But I
something,
doubt
bro.
that.
Like you not this, bro. I don't even know how physically you swallow the goat. You swallow a whole cow, like, bro. Gain. You talking about 10 pounds in a week, bro? How is that humanly possible?
Boo likes chocolate.
Y'all trying to see? I feel like it's always that one guy in the draft, and it's always the black guy that they try to. And look, I'm going there, so forget the feelings, okay? I'm going there. It's Target. He's the big, black, scary, 6'6", 6'7", 340-pound guy. That's scary. Jalen Carter is a freak of nature, scary looking. You look at him, he look like he'll snap your damn neck. Okay, he looks like that. He literally look like if he reminds me of a lot of Rashid Hageman. Okay, he reminds me of Rashid Hageman. He just look to kick your ass. There's some people that look like you look at him and just like, bro, yeah, I don't know if I want to mess with this dude. I might have to get me a stick if you start running at me or something. Like he looks like those types of dudes. And it's for me, it's not even just that. It's just ever since the combine, it's just like he's the only person that they've been going out of their way to like put something negative on him. And I'm gonna say this right now. Whoever his agent, fire him right now. He needs to fire that agent right now. That should not be allowed to go at a kid the way that they've been going at him. It's always the one that looks like him, the people that speak out like Kaepernick, not the thugs and dudes out here pulling out the buttons on goddamn national TV. Man, they don't go after those. They don't go out of their way to try to go guys. That's really the troublemakers. The Alvin Kamara's out here beating up people, and you see these things. They beating up their wives and all that shit. It's always the big black. Freaking sick of what they're doing to Jalen. It's not freaking cool, bro. You're the only person in this draft they picking on. It's a problem. Somebody need to step out. Stephen A. We need somebody to speak out.
Oh, that's the wrong motherfucker.
Nobody
you won't stepping out on somebody right there.
Look, I'm just saying, I don't give a damn who it is. Somebody got to speak out, and it's not cool. He's literally the only guy in this draft they picking on. It's not freaking cool, bro. You're not gonna tell me you're grown. Look, I'm gonna buy 6'3", 200 myself. I like to eat. But I ain't never gained no 10 pounds in a week.
It's kind of hard to do.
You not
so
somebody lying somewhere, okay? Somebody lying somewhere. So I'm here to tell you, somebody lying somewhere. It ain't no way this dude gained 10 pounds unless he was. You talking about beers or whatever the hell. I don't know what you do to gain 10 pounds a week. Because look, you need to show me that. So I don't touch that shit, okay?
Hold on, let me see.
I whatever he eating, I don't know.
How do you gain 10 pounds in a week?
Here's a summary from Better Me. Why did I gain 10 pounds in a week?
Increase stress levels. Wait, anyway, gain however it is possible gain 10 pounds of fat in a week. It's best if you take a break from your workout and eat a lot more food than usual. Oh, look, like I said, main thing popped up in that list was stress. Maybe.
So we got imaginary stress. We got stress that's gonna turn into weight. Like that still don't even look again. It don't even make no sense. We know stress to do that, but again, it has to be a stress. Is just the outline. Like, is he like I said? Is he eating? What is he doing? You still gotta do something to gain 10 pounds, bro. Stress. Right. All right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because, like I said, when you're going through stress, you got people that out here that stress eat. Believe me, I've been down this road before. Like you said, ever since the whole situation with the girl and the beret and stuff. So, like I said, we don't know where his mindset is as far as how much of this media backlash on him is taking on him mentally. We don't know that. Now, from the video and saying about the combine and stuff like that, I necessarily wouldn't say that he is, like I said, he just probably just been down on his luck. I mean, hell, think about it. Them motherfuckers put a warrant out on him literally before he was scheduled to speak at the podium. But like you said, especially with the agent ain't making it no damn better. You're supposed to be protecting your clients.
Like, ain't nobody speaking for him. And like I said, I understand all that. But like I said, it's an attack on him personally. They're trying to make it like he's lazy. He's a murderer. He's a liar. Like, it's a problem for me where they attacking him. Like I said, they're not doing this to nobody. So like I said, whoever his agent problem, they really painting a picture of him, and I don't like it because he hasn't been like this at Georgia. Trust me, Georgia, the media out here, if you get in any type of trouble, you're gonna find. This kid has have pretty much a clean record when it comes down to it. Clean record. Kids get drunk, kids go to parties and stuff like that. But like I said, it's an attack on him and him personally that I have a problem with. Nobody's sticking up or standing up for him. And like I said, that's where I have a problem with it. It's just like, all right, here Jalen, he's just an absolute mess right now. He's just spiraling out of control. And the first thing we bring up is, well, he's been the best. The easiest, most simplest shit to do. Like it's just a cop out. I ain't feeling this, bro. I'm just not feeling.
We're gonna definitely find out. But like you said, okay. Keyshawn Vlad said it had all started with Dan Orlovsky. No, it actually started with Todd McShay. That's really where it started off at.
Todd McShay started.
Because everybody, because it
started
came
before
out
the
of
draft.
nowhere. Was like it came out of nowhere. Like
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it at this. And I put this on Twitter a couple weeks ago. I was told Michael Parsons had character issues. Y'all remember that? A couple years ago, we were doing our mock draft. We were doing our prospect videos. They said he got in trouble at Penn State. He was doing some inappropriate stuff. And ever since he's been in the NFL, all he's been doing is terrorizing the quarterback, getting in the backfield, and being one of the best edge rushers, linebackers, whatever you want to call them, in the league. He ain't gotten in no trouble. So I take everything that the media say with a grain of salt, especially the Todd McShays, especially because the K-Styles always talk about it. They always pump up the white quarterback. Every single year, it's another white quarterback that they're pumping up, or some type of quarterback that they're trying to have go number one. You even had Roddy White going off on Twitter, going at these guys, but always pumping up the Will Levises, pumping up the kid that got with the Jets, Zach Wilson, pumping him up the year that he went in the draft, high in the draft. So we know their tactics. We know what they're doing, but I take everything they say with a grain of salt. Ever since Michael Parsons dropped in the draft and went to Dallas and been wreaking havoc on pretty much every offense in the league, I take everything they say with a grain of salt. Unless I'm hearing it, like Mike said, directly from the head coach or his position coach at Georgia, who was around this kid daily. If he had some type of character issue, you would hear it from the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. So if I'm not hearing it coming from inside of that camp, which we know when all that stuff was coming out about Michael Parsons wasn't coming from the head coach of Penn State, I don't believe it. I don't believe none of these guys say. Can the kid play football? That's what I want to know. And at the end of the day, if Jalen Carter is there at 8, the Falcons should take him. And believe it or not, he's not dropping. I don't see him dropping past Seattle.
It's too much skill,
defense.
Too much talent right there.
Yeah, he got way too much talent. There's no way he's dropping to the Falcons. If he drops, I mean, trust me, I hope he does drop for our sake, but I don't see it happening. For his pockets, I hope he goes top 5. But if he does somehow drop, he's not getting past Atlanta. We were there. If you guys didn't see on Twitter, I posted on my Twitter. They show our whole coaching staff there at his pro day. So anyway he drops to Atlanta, he's going to be taken at 8 if he's there. But I doubt he drops. But I take everything that the media says with a grain of salt, especially the Todd McShays and all of these guys that supposedly supposed to know everything about these players.
And shout out to Wavy 2 times with the $9.99 super chat, saying much love and support, fellas. So we definitely appreciate that. Yeah, because I'm about to say, I think you brought up a key point as far as with this Jalen Carter thing. I haven't heard much about the coaches saying about his character.
Bro, there's never. He been here 3 years. Been in Georgia 3 years.
We're talking about the same Jalen Carter.
Any issue.
We're talking about the same Jalen Carter who picked up a grown ass man and walked him like a damn trophy for a sack. We talking about this same Jalen Carter. I just want to make sure this the same with the same one against LSU where he sacked the quarterback, picked his big ass up, and ran with him like a trophy. Because that quarterback was not a little dude.
He wasn't.
That was not a little dude he picked up. Nah. And I think, and it's very interesting on how much they thought he was going to be the a possible surefire number 1 overall pick to Chicago. Now all of a sudden, now Chicago traded back to 9. They trying to They're using this to drop his stat. Because if you notice, a lot of the mock drafts got him going to Chicago. They've been having him going to Chicago for the last 3 months now. Won't y'all knows that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's the media darling they trying to hype up in Chicago? This happened.
I have no idea.
2 plus 2 don't equal 15. But
hell, I thought it would.
Hell, shit, you can have some players have some terrible pro. Hey, let me ask y'all something. I want y'all to really, really be honest with me. The fuck does pro day really mean?
Nothing.
Tape says everything you need to know.
You ready for mine?
You said what?
It's a chance. You ever like a modeling showcases, or you ever seen one of the modeling showcases?
Mm-hmm.
Where you just look at models who go down the runway. That's all that's good. It's a modeling showcase.
Right.
I was about to take it somewhere else, but I don't think that's appropriate. But it's just a modeling showcase to see how big these are, how tall they are, and stuff like that. But it's just a showcase to see if hey man, he might be a little not need or like some goofy shit like that. Oh, his pinky turned to the left. I don't like this. Like this is stuff today. This is the stuff. Y'all think I'm joking when I say this. You really think I'm joking? But I hear stories about this all the time. Hands are only 9 inches long and stuff like that. Like it's just goofy stuff. It's a bunch of damn goofy.
Right. It just like I said, to me, when I look at pro days and stuff like that, it's just basically it's really just NFL teams looking to talk to coaches. Like you said, the players work out like they normally work out anyway. But it's just for the teams to talk to the coaches. I think that's really what the main thing is. Like I said, let's be honest.
Around was horrible.
Yeah, that's why I said, let's be honest. Who?
Ain't an athletic bone in Tom Brady's body at all.
Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. Who really put stock in the pro day like that? Everything's scripted.
The teams that can't draft, Jay. Them the teams that put stock in pro days. The teams that don't know how to draft right. The team that's drafting top 5 every year. Those are teams that go to pro days and the combine and say if you can run fast.
Oh snap! Did you see that 60-yard bomb he threw?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Teams like the Jets that took Zach Wilson. Teams like that.
Oh, wow.
Hey, look. Hey, did you see that 60-yard bomb he threw? Yeah, I saw the backup quarterback do the same exact thing. So what the fuck is we talking about?
With no defense out there, with just them and a wide receiver.
Oh man, that shit is crazy, man. But like I'm kind of with Drew on this one, regardless of it. I don't think his stock gonna really drop like that. If it does drop, like I said, it'll most likely be around to the Falcons. I don't know if they trying to drop his shit all the way up into the second round or something like that. But bruh, I'm just gonna say this nigga here picked up a quarterback that was 6'4", 230 pounds and carried his ass like a trophy. That's all I need to see right there.
With ease.
Didn't
Like
even
it was
struggle.
nothing.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all this one question: do y'all
He
think
did like
have
this.
any problem?
You got a grown ass man and he holding up with one hand.
Right. What you got, G?
I said I got this one question. Y'all talk about him picking up a man with one arm. I said, now do y'all think he gonna have any problem stopping the run, staying in his gap? If he can pick up a man with one arm with ease.
Nah.
Just
Nah,
imagine
that
what
LSU quarterback was about 6'4", 240. Like I said, he picked him up with ease, bro. I'm like, yeah. I seen that. I like, bro. Hey, no, I like this dude is on one right now. And he proceeded to run with him and laugh at the same time. I'm like, nah, this motherfucker ain't right. He ain't right on the field. Hold on, we got a $4.99 super chat. They thought about like he was burping a damn baby. Hold on, I'm trying to get this thing to come up, man. Trying to get it to come up. All right, Mike, go ahead and hit that super chat for us right quick, man. Tell Sports Gaming with it.
I'm gonna show y'all. I'm download this picture, but Kevin, I always love this show. I gotta show that picture. I just gotta upload that picture. People gotta understand this is a grown ass man. Okay, this is a grown ass man. I always love every show. It's been good free agency and looks like it's going to be a good season, but I'm taking if he's there or Tyree Wilson, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, at the end of the day, when we're talking about this stuff right here, this is what you have the culture of coaches for. Like you said, when you got players that are quote unquote have issues like this, like you got teams. Let's just be honest with you. Falcon fans here that's watching the shows here. How many times have the Falcons passed up on players that had some type of issue and y'all instantly regretted it as fans later on?
Too many times. Too many times.
What was the consent notion of what the Atlanta Falcons was? It was a bunch of choir boys. Everybody was on their good behavior. Everybody eating Grey Poupon over here.
Nobody disagreed with the coaching. Nobody did nothing. Nobody got nobody face when there was an issue. Yeah, like you might need somebody that's gonna slap a player one good time. Now I don't condone violence, but hey, you may need a player that's gonna disagree at times. That was a Rasheed Hageman. That's why Mike always bring it up. Him and Brian Cox got into it numerous times, but it was good for the team.
Right.
One of those coaches that was gonna get in your face, but him and Rasheed Hageman butted heads. But guess what? On Sunday, it came out in the field in his play. So, like I said, sometimes it's good to have that back and forth with a coach. You're not gonna always see eye to eye, but it always comes back down to can the player play or can he? Period.
Yeah. Like you said, Drew said with Michael Parsons, they had that whole incident at Penn State. Yeah, we're not gonna retell that story because
Look at this. This is a grown ass man. He got him with one hand and holding up the other hand like a trophy. It ain't like Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald had Devontae Freeman with two hands. This dude got him with one hand and holding up the other like it's nothing. If you don't want this dude, bro, you got to be crazy. Gotta be crazy, bro. This is insane.
Hell nah. I seen that. Y'all like, oh man, I like this dude.
Yeah,
This dude is crazy. He walked with, and the bad thing about it, he walked with him too, which made it even worse. He's like,
bro.
yeah, like, oh hell no.
Game bread
Oh,
month.
man.
All right, say that K Styles with a $2 super chat. Then what it said that with another $2 super chat. What they all about to say? Say it again. But he said, "Shit, I condone it.
I condone it. Yeah,
I
shoot.
condone it."
He
We
talking about
need it.
what I said. Sometimes I had to pick
Think
somebody.
about
That's
this.
Yeah. He friend with Jesus. Yeah.
Look, think about this right quick. One of the perfect examples of this is Lyle Collins. I mean, it came out that it wasn't true, but when it originally came out, now Joe Mixon, that mother is stupid as fuck. I mean, bro, you doing dumb shit out here right now. But that's why I said we don't condone all of it. But Joe Mixon is on a whole level. He's a whole nother level of stupid right now. I don't know what the hell going on with that. I don't want to talk about that right now. But we're talking about just in this case in itself, like you said, if it's things about coaches ain't saying anything, the players ain't, his teammates ain't came out and said anything. Yeah, I think the Falcons gonna take that chance with him. I mean, if you look at how they attacking this, if you actually look at how they attack this free agency, it's perfectly set up for him. If you really think about it.
Yeah, they set it up perfect where they're gonna take some type of defensive lineman, whether it's him, whether it's Tyree Wilson. You know, they set it up perfect. And that's why we said that we don't think that they're gonna take an edge, you know what I'm saying, like in free agency, because they set it up where they went after all of the pieces they need. Now they just need that guy that can get after the passer. So I mean, I definitely, like I said, if Jalen Carter's there, I don't think they hesitate. They're gonna take him regardless. But I just say be careful what you're hearing as far as he's a bad, character issues and stuff. If that was the case, he would have got suspended when he was in college. And then you have guys like the Aaron Hernandez, where coming into the draft, you really didn't hear a whole lot about character issues with him. And if it was some character issues, do you think a team like the New England Patriots was going to draft him? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, they pick and choose, and that's what Mike is basically stated. They pick and choose what players
That's
they
more
get
so
information about.
Yeah.
Sergeant Stetson Bennett. that's one of our OG subscribers right there. He said we need to pick up another guard in the 3rd round. I'm calling it right now. Cody Mock to the Falcons. I need it. I need Cody Mock here.
I need it and I want it.
He need to put on. They're gonna ask him to put him on about another 10 pounds, but I need that here. I need look. look. I need my offensive lineman that got all this gone. I need that. I need that. That dude is crazy. That dude is fucking crazy. I need that. We didn't did the video. We did the video homework on him. Yeah, that dude is crazy. Let's see. Josh here has. Let me see. I'm just waiting for it to pop up. So he pretty much here is saying Carter would be a home run pick for Tyree Wilson or God damn it.
Christian Gonzalez would be good.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Would be a good as well. Like I said, the way the Falcons set themselves up, they set themselves up to where they can go a multitude of directions with that 8th pick. Like you said, I know people talk about Darius Slay. Like I said, if it's the case that if they decide to pick a corner in the draft at 8, I'd rather take that option because that option leads to long-term gains. Like I said, Darius Slay is a short-term game, but it's not a long-term game.
Me and K, that was a bar.
Like I said, Tyree Wilson is kind of the same thing too. It's a long-term game, and you're basically trying to set up the heir apparent to Grady Jarrett. Whether it be Tyree Wilson or, like I said, it could be surprising Keon White. And like I said, I'm a tech guy, but I just say with Keon White, like I said, that's kind of one of those fifth year, senior, late bloomer type guys. Fifth year senior. I know he started off at Old Dominion and then ended up at Tech. But like I said, it's just one of those things where he was okay junior year and then senior year he exploded. So like I said, we'll see how it goes with that. But they've set themselves up for the long-term success, whether it be building in the trenches or putting a secondary piece, offensive lineman, whatever. But Devon ain't shit. Hey, Mike, put that picture up one more time. If you don't mind. One stupid, he talking about Cody Mott whistles while he blocks. Whistle while you block. But yeah. That quarterback for LSU, he like, bro, this some bullshit. Ain't no way in hell I'm supposed to be getting lifted off the ground like this. Mr. 58 here said, man, where the likes at? Don't let Mr. 58 call y'all out on them likes. He said we got 155 people. We ain't got no likes. Quarterback looking like, bro, this is some bullshit right here. Offensive line like, put him down. He looking like, motherfucker, I dare you to snatch this motherfucker out of my hands.
Drew, you want to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Take with the $4.99 super chat. He says, question, what is AK's role if we go DN in the first round? Is it a depth move or for a project starter opposite of him? I think with this actual draft, even if they go out and get like a DN, as I mentioned again, like AK probably becomes more of like a third down pass rusher. You may not use him on first, second down, because I can see us having a rotation of guys, and that's what I go back to. You want to have that depth on your team. Like AK can be a starter and be a guy who can set the edge, but that's the reason you have a Lorenzo Carter. But because you have Malone, I see this team moving towards more of a pass rush by committee and not just playing the same four guys, the same four down linemen. I see them moving around guys on certain plays, bringing in an AK, bringing in a D'Angelo Malone, and having different sets where they bring in those guys. Similar to what you see with San Fran, where they rotate a whole defensive line like in at different points in time in the game. So I expect the same thing with AK. I think that they're going to continue to try to develop him. But the Caden Ellises, as I talked about, the D'Angelo Malones, even the Michael Walkers, don't be surprised if you see Michael Walker on the edge. Like, that's something that I think is going to be another wrinkle that's going to be added into this Falcons defense, is they even may use Michael Walker, because in college, that's what Michael Walker did. He was used more as like an outside linebacker. We used him more as an off linebacker, where he's playing like the inside linebacker position. But Michael Walker is another guy who also can rush the passer, similar to like a Caden Ellis. That's what he did in college. So I think that'll be another wrinkle that Nielsen add to this Falcons team, is also using Michael Walker with his length, bringing him off the edge, because as I always talk about, when you're a linebacker and you're used in a scheme where it's very aggressive, it takes a lot of that thinking. What we talked about, Michael Walker, his, not moving and his feet, he being caught flat-footed. That's not going to happen in an aggressive defense where you're using them basically just to get after the quarterback and you're just mainly reacting. It's not so much thinking. It's just aggressive all the time. And I think that that's something that we'll see. So I expect AK to take the next step. And I expect AK to have more impact because I really think these guys are going to have more energy in the games in the third and fourth quarters of these games. Because you added a guy like Onyemata, you added more big bodies on this defensive line. I think if you rotate these guys a little bit more, these guys are going to be a lot better just because they'll have more energy, towards the end of the game. Guys like Lorenzo Carter that played 80% of your snaps last year, you're going to probably cut that in half. He probably played maybe like 50% of the snaps instead of 80, depending on if they draft a DN or outside linebacker. So you always need fresh bodies. I always talk about having those guys. Like if you go back to our Super Bowl year, one thing we did a good job of before injuries hit, you had guys, Brooks Reed, Adrian Claiborne, guys that you brought in where they was like that secondary pass rush. They weren't even starters. You had Vic Beasley, the White Freeney. I mean, you had guys you can keep rotating them in. Courtney Upshaw, people forget about him. He was the guy we got from Baltimore on that Super Bowl team. So you had guys you can rotate in. It's just in the Super Bowl, by the time we got to the Super Bowl, we had injuries. Adrian Claiborne got injured, so you didn't have that rotation. But if you have 5-6 guys on the edge, you can keep rotating, you keep them fresh. So I expect that's what Nielsen's going to try to do. That's why we're not going after those big names, because you can afford to go out and pay, these lesser guys that don't have that big name. If you can get maybe 5 or 6 of those guys, that make up for you trying to pay one guy $20 million a year.
Okay, yeah. At the end of the day, people, depth matters. And depth matters in big ways. So, I was just looking at here. I was just seeing what else out here. Like you said, I seen the Miles Sanders. I see Jamal Williams to the Saints. I see that. They said Patrick Mahomes done converted his money, so they done created $9 million in cap space for themselves. Like you said, everybody trying to create money out here. Looking at the remaining of free agency, boy, there's actually a lot of names out here. Like you said, Orlando Brown Jr., he done fumbled his own damn bag, trying to chase the big bag.
He's a big damn. It's so dang on stupid. You had a perfect opportunity to just take what the Chiefs offered, but you thought you was bigger and better than what you were, and it's like, all right, I'm Orlando Brown, and these teams ain't trying to pay that much money.
I hate that you said it like that. I hate you said it like that.
He's a man. Look,
I'm Orlando Brown. That sound like a Disney intro or something like that. Hi, I'm Orlando Brown. Let's see.
He's a big dummy. It's the second time he done did this. This is why it's so stupid. Like at some point, you got to realize if two teams say the same thing about you, then you gotta like realize maybe it's just your market. This big dummy is still a free agent, and he ain't getting what he thought he was gonna get. It's just dumb. You playing with one of the greatest teams assembled, and you gonna fumble this bag? You just won the Super Bowl? Like, come on, what's wrong with you, man? You was a big dummy. This is big dummy territory. It's like back in the day where you have a Tupac, and then you have a Suge Knight, then you got Snoop, They got a whole roster full of people that make money. Dr. Dre, like all these dudes are just superstars. This big dummy think he, man, look, man, I'm really disappointed with him. Like, because he's a good tackle, but he just ain't got no damn sense, bro. He just ain't got no freaking sense. You don't pass up an opportunity like that to win.
You said you glad Caleb McGarry understood the assignment.
He understands the assignment, and that's why I gave him the Mad Mike Teammate of the Year. And K-Styles, what you call it?
That's my dog.
He understands the message. That's what I'm talking about. When you understand the message, you don't have to worry about money. Money's gonna come to you.
Let's see. Yeah. Hold on. Lamont Sanford face saying, yeah.
You big dummy.
D. Coleman said, they said, no, you a right tackle. He said, bullshit. I want to get paid like a. That's how, you know what? That sounds very familiar. Don't that sound familiar, y'all?
You think? Yes, it does.
That sounds like Jimmy Graham, don't it? Remember Jimmy Graham was trying to get paid to be the top wide receiver in the league. They said, no, motherfucker, you tight.
Big dummy.
And proceeded to trade him the very next year. He had been shit since.
You go back to what I said at the top of the show. You got to understand, like you said, understand the assignment. He was in a perfect situation with New Orleans, perfect scheme, and he went and got traded to Seattle where he didn't fit their scheme. Prime example. He could have just got his money, continued to ball out, but he wanted top dollar. And sometimes top dollar is not worth it because your stats are going to pay the consequences. You know, your game is going to pay the consequences, and that's what happened with Jimmy Graham. He went from a perfect situation, but he went for the bag, and sometimes going for the bag can cost you. We've seen this in numerous situations. So Caleb McGarry, he did the right move. Like, look, I'm in a perfect scheme. They helped develop me. I'm right next to an all-pro and Chris Lindstrom. You know, we got this right side working. It's no reason for me to leave.
Right. They sitting here roasting on Cody Marquez. Hey. Everybody say, hey, look, we could roast them all day, but y'all better go look at the tape. You better, the Falcon therapist will tell you when you look at the tape. Why I really say that? Okay, yeah, this is another one. I saw this earlier too, and it kind of intrigued me. They talk about Mecole Hardman. And I don't know, somebody had said that he was injury prone or something like that. And he kind of responded, was like, shit, he responded in a certain way. I forgot how he did it. I ain't have my notes. But do you think Mecole, like you said, you said what?
Well, he pretty much said this is the first time he's been hurt, and which is true.
Right.
Players have. He doesn't. I mean, players have like little hamstring pulls and growing strains. Like that's just a part of the game. So to say he's injury prone is just ignorant.
I was about to say, hey, yeah, boy, I get pulled hamstrings blinking. I know.
You know. Hell, I strained my toe. I don't know what the hell happened to my toe. Just getting out of damn bed.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing here. Hey, look, I'm laughing right now. My calf just locked up on my ass. That just hurt like a mother. Oh man,
you getting them 30s, boy. They start hurting, bro.
Hey, like Cat Williams said in that special, boy, he was like, boy, they said this getting old shit is for the birds. Now we still at an age where we still got but like what OG Sam always say, Better wait till you get to your 40s and 50s, motherfucker. Yeah. If I'm like this now, I'm about to say, man, y'all gonna see me in a wheelchair because I'm not finna be wasting no energy walking.
Damn, not the wheelchair.
I'll be like this. What happened to you? Nah, I'm just lazy as hell. I don't feel like walking no more. But Bubblegum says I fart, my back hurts.
Oh my god.
He needs some milk. But yeah, man. So that'll be my last question for y'all tonight. OZ, do you think they give him an opportunity to come back? Or do you think they're going to be looking for something younger?
Nope. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think they pretty much gone.
You think
Smith's favorites?
You think he you think they attack it in the draft, or you think they might use these last couple of days of free agency before the draft to attack that second wide receiver spot?
Depends on who out there, because like right now, if y'all notice, they kind of suppressing the market like for the wide receivers right now. Like I thought that Lazard from the Green Bay was going to get a lot more money than he got. But he got like a 4-year, $44 million deal, and they were saying like he was the number one target as far as being a number 2 or a free agent wide receiver. So I really feel like a lot of these teams, what they're doing, and it goes back to what y'all was saying earlier, like they're suppressing the market. And that's why I say, like, if you coming out just because you think you're a brand name, it ain't going to work. And the reason it's not going to work is it goes back to look at the Chiefs with the Cheetah last year, letting him walk and then going and win the Super Bowl. That kind of just proved like, yeah, he was a brand name, but some of these coaches, they feel like it's more about their scheme than about having that superstar player. They went in the draft and got Sky Moore. They went and traded for Kadarius Toney, and they still were able to do it. So I really feel like the NFL and these teams, they're starting to suppress that wide receiver market. Like they didn't like a lot of those guys last year got all of that money that everybody was looking like, wow, you're giving out this kind of money. The kid that played for Arizona got all that money from Jacksonville. He had a really good season, but they didn't like that he got that $66 million. Like they're looking like we kind of got to suppress this market a little bit. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing. So it just depends on the receivers, what the receiver's looking for. I really feel like what the Falcons is about the money. They're looking at these players like, how much money are you looking for? If you're talking crazy, like where you want in the bag, then they're going to go in the draft. They're not going to even waste their time because you see every year the Drake Londons, these guys on these rookie deals are eclipsing 1,000 yards and doing pretty much what any other superstar wide receiver can do that's a veteran in the league. So I really feel like this market is going to start getting a little bit suppressed a little bit more. So I really think the Falcons are trying to wait to see, because if you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was talking to Mike prior to the show about Juju Smith-Schuster. He said after the Super Bowl that he wanted to go back to Kansas City, but I think they told him like, we not finna pay you like you think, like you think you finna get paid because we won the Super Bowl. Like we basically proved that we don't need a number 1 wide receiver. We got Jason, we have Travis Kelce, who's really what everything pretty much goes around, him and Mahomes. As long as they have Mahomes, Big Red, and Kelce, they can plug and play pretty much any wide receiver. So at this point, they're not worried about these veteran wide receivers. And I really feel like a lot of teams are going to start trying to take what they did, that blueprint, and kind of, suppressing this wide receiver market.
Right. Because I'm looking right now at the wide receiver market. So far, only 8 wide receivers have actually got picked up. Like you said, Alan Lazard, 4 years, 44. Jacoby Myers, 3 years, 33. So yeah, they said in the market saying like, "Hey, motherfucker, y'all think y'all getting 20? No, the hell you ain't."
let me say something real quick because the problem was where this got out of hand. It was two guys that really um, made it bad for everybody else. Three guys: Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, and Antonio Brown. Those guys pitched a hissy fit when they didn't get the money that they thought they was worth. And then those guys end up getting hurt. Like you did all that crying for the money, and then you wasn't giving them the numbers. So it's like as an organization, like I'm not gonna give you $20 million if you can't even you can't even practice. Julio Jones got that money and he didn't practice. He stayed on the sideline and ultimately, let's just keep it real. It's like he swindled his way out of Atlanta. He got paid. He already got his check. So the organization looked like I give you the money, but you're gonna have to play for me. This is one of the reasons why everybody's saying there's collusion. There's no collusion in this instance. Because you gotta look at it from both ways. It's all about business. Jude's father his parents, they are in real estate. So it's like you gotta negotiate the right price that's good for both of y'all. Okay? It's about business. It's good for me, it's good for you. We can agree on this numbers. It's a win-win. It's not a win-win when guys are 40 years old, like 30-something years old, and they getting injured. It's not a win-win situation with Lamar when Lamar has yet to finish an NFL season the last 2 years. That's not a win-win. And this is what the players have to understand. This is why they stay the heck out of business negotiations because they're using their personal feelings when it comes down to business. Business is completely different from personal. Now, when organizations go out of their way to say, all right, this is the reason why he had off the field problems, we don't want to pay him, then that's a whole nother situation. But most of these, I'm gonna take that back because even in some situations, off the field issues is a part of the reason why people don't want to pay you. So you have to take that into consideration when you deal in these contracts. Because we're looking at right now in New Orleans, they don't even know if Alvin Kamara going to be on the field. This dude could be looking at serious jail time for what he did, what he's done. So it's like, it's like I understand what players are, but like a businessman myself, like I'm looking at you, bro. It's like it got to make sense for me to be able to do it. It got to make sense for me to invest in you.
Right. Yeah, because wide receivers out there still right now: Kenny Golladay, Adam Thielen, Chosen Anderson. I'm still trying to figure out why the hell you picked that name, but ain't nobody chose you yet, so that failed miserably. I'm gonna go from Robbie Anderson to Chosen Anderson. Boy, ain't nobody chose your ass yet, so wrong name. Nelson Aguilar still out there. DJ Shark, Randall. Well, Aaron Rodgers already, he tried to bitch his way to get Randall Cobb to the Jets, so we pretty much kissed that one goodbye. Marvin Jones, Julio Jones, Byron Pringle, Jarvis Landry, Cam Sims, N'Keal Harry, OZ, Jamison Crowder, Andre Roberts. I thought he'd have retired. Sammy Watkins, Zach Pascal, Keelan Cole, Rashawn Perriman, Marquise Goodwin, Nicole Hartman, Paris Campbell, Demir Bird, Kadero Hodge. Yeah. DeMarcus Robinson. Yeah, like you said, ain't no wide receivers making no damn money out here, bro. I think the only one that may make some money out of that's left right now may be Adam Thielen, just for the simple fact. Nah, he ain't gonna make that much because he about to be damn 33 this year. Nah, I ain't finna pay him no goddamn money.
Yeah, I think like DJ Chark. DJ Chark might get a little bit of something, but it ain't gonna be like 66 million. Like I told you, like Alan Lazard was like the top of the market. And if he only got 44, then everybody else up underneath him, they're not gonna make what they look. And it goes back to what Mike was saying. A lot of the guys you talking about are injury prone. Sammy Watkins. When's the last time he finished the full season? Like you got so many guys that you named there that's like either their prime is over with, like they're at the end of their prime, or you're going to get injured. Like I keep talking about, we talk about depth. Like NFL is 100% injury rate. Like you're going to get injured at some point. Like we look at Matt Ryan and be like, he was never injured. That's not the truth. He was injured. He just played through injuries. Like how many times we seen Matt Ryan get clocked? We know he got a concussion, or you see that man get his hand cut wide open and he still was out there playing. Like a lot of these guys be banged up and they just continue to play. So it's not so much that, these guys don't get injured. You're going to need depth because at some point, somebody's going to twist an ankle. Somebody's going to get injured. That's just the name of the game. It's a physical sport. Football, you're going to get injured. It's just about, can you play through it? And that's what Mike is talking about when he was talking about it's a business. Some of these guys are not even willing to play through injury. They'll just sit out. Like they get a minor tweak. All right, that's it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to even play. We literally seen Mahomes like pretty much roll his ankle the worst way you can roll it. And this dude played in an AFC championship game, then turned around and got his ankle tweaked again in the Super Bowl, went in at halftime, came back out and still won a Super Bowl MVP. So that's why you see them willing to invest in him, because that dude going to play through injury. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, speaking of Orlando Brown, it is now confirmed that he is finalizing 4 years, $64 million front-loaded deal with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Again, it's about that money. And he gonna look like a damn fool because their defense is being pretty much good at right now.
It said that includes an over $31 million signing bonus, largest ever for an offensive lineman.
They just caught Falcons with Terry. All they did was copy what Terry did with Jesse Bates.
It's the same damn deal.
It's the same again. He just gave him $30 million.
I looked at the number like, wait a minute, 4 years, $64.1 million. I'm like, dang, that's the same deal.
Same deal again. He just copied what Terry Watson did. Yeah,
they said they front. So they front loaded
the
hell out of that contract.
You're gonna see a lot of those types of contracts. You're gonna see a lot of front loaded deals, and then the second, third year they're gonna get lower. Like you're gonna start seeing a lot more of those contracts.
Yeah, because that way when Joe Burrow's money come up, Orlando Brown's contract ain't gonna tamper with that.
Right.
And it goes back to what we were saying about injury. Diminishing returns. Like with the back end, you see in the MLB where they signing 10-year contracts, Albert Pujols, some of these guys, by the time they start trying to get that big money, like they can't even play anymore. So a lot of these contracts you're gonna be seeing like 2-3 years. We're gonna get it while you still can play, because we seen when we gave Julio that big deal, it's like the later ends of those he was done. Like he was done. Like to be honest, I keep telling people Julio did us a favor. Because we got dang on fleece the Titans. By just trading him off like that, they thought he still had game. You know what I'm saying? We was able to get rid of him. The way he did it, he really saved us, because he was our number one wide receiver. And if we would have had him here, we would have been, the Falcons fans would have came at him. After the way he fought to get his money, he knew that he had to get out of town. He already knew, like Mike said, he got his money, he got out of town because he knew we were going to put that pressure on him.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Cincinnati about to be a very interesting time right now, because your starting running back you've already kind of damn near been trying to X him out. damn near trying to X him out the offense for the last couple of years now, and he's getting in trouble. You got a wide receiver 2 that wants wide receiver 1 money. He damn sure ain't finna get it because you got your franchise, you got your quarterback whose money is due up here in the next couple of years, so they don't want to tie that up in no T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
Now you done put some money into your offensive line and Orlando Brown, which is okay. Congratulations to him. Like I said, I ain't never guessed nobody getting a bag, but
that's a significant amount less than what he could have gotten. That's the thing. He could have got that. He could have got about a 4-year deal with Kansas City for about 60 to 80 million. You, like you said, you screwed yourself out about $20-30 million because you being greedy. Because like I said, I like the deal for him, but let's be real. Cincinnati really gonna continue championships. Like, let's just be real about that. They're gonna be a very good offense. That offense is gonna be damn good, but how long can we keep that up? We've seen that before with Cincinnati, that they've had tremendous offenses, but defensively they haven't been able to do anything. They pretty much us. Let's keep it real. They pretty much the Falcons.
mm-hmm. So that pretty much lets me know Kansas City might go offensive line with their first pick in the draft. Makes sense because and you got Patrick Mahomes converting money and creating cap space. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting season. So let's go ahead and start winding it down, man. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and wind it down, man. My brothers, y'all got any final words y'all want to speak to the people?
I just want to say this. I do want to. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in, hitting the like button, subscribe button for your boys here, the heavy hitters. And I just want to end with this. One thing that I can say about this regime and why I think that this regime is going to be successful is it always goes back to the draft. The good teams in the NFL understand how to draft. And that's something that I can give credit to Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, since they've been here the first 2 seasons. With us not having money was kind of a blessing in disguise because whether they wanted to develop or not, they had to develop the players that we had. They had to play the guys that we had, but they've drafted well. If you look at last season, I always go back to Tyler Algier, 5th round pick, Drake London, like all of the guys that pretty much were your playmakers were the guys that you drafted. You develop. The good teams understand how to draft. The good teams pay their players once they develop. That's what we've seen with Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry. The best guys to pay are the guys that the guys that you develop, your draft picks. And I think that that's something that we've seen with this team. Like, we're looking at it like, well, we didn't really make no big splash signings other than Jesse Bates. But that's not true. Chris Lindstrom is a splash signing. Caleb McGarry, keeping your offensive line and solidifying your offensive line, that's a splash signing. It ain't pretty, it ain't cute. It's not the sexy thing to do, but it's the right thing to do. If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they keep their guys, man. Fletcher Cox, the guys that they had success with, they pay those guys. They just re-signed Jason Kelsey. He signed another 1-year deal with Philadelphia to come back to see if they can get back to a Super Bowl. But they always solidify their front. So for all of the ones that are discouraged by, the guys that we brought in and they're looking for that big splash, the big splash was Chris Lindstrom coming back. Your big splash is going to be AJ Terrell getting paid in the next couple of years. Us being able to retain Grady Jarrett. Like, those are the splash signings because those are our Pro Bowl players. Chris Lindstrom just made a Pro Bowl. He was all pro last year. So we did go in and retain, the splash signings that we're looking for. They're already on our roster, to be honest. Yeah, you may get 1 and 2 here, like the Jesse Bates, year in and year out. You may go out and get like one guy that's going to be $60 million. But it's not realistic to think we're going to be able to bring in 3, 4, 5 guys that's looking for top dollar. That's not how the great teams build. When we point back to New England, as much as I hate the Patriots, because to me, they, we all know that they cheaters, but Tom Brady never took top dollar. Go look at his career. The reason they were able to go out and pay defensive guys is because he was unselfish. As much as I hate Tom Brady, he was smart in, okay, I want to go out and be able to get a Stephon Gilmore. I want us to be able to keep guys on the roster like Willie McGinnis and, the Vince Wilforks of the world, the Laurie Malloys, the Rodney Harrisons. The reason they were able to bring in those guys is because he never took top dollar. And I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
For those in the back that didn't understand that, Jude just literally said, when you understand the mission, the community eats.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Mike?
Well, I'll say this. We appreciate everybody for joining us. Like always, it will really mean the world to us. I know we get a lot of people that actually view the videos and view our shows, but please hit that subscribe button. That subscribe button is really what, to help us, one, personally for our own personal missions, our own personal goals. Like I have a personal goal for myself for 10K. Y'all see it in the cover art of the channel, 10K. It's like the 10K is, it signifies, for one, that AFN, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Falcons Nation, Jude Talk Sports, 6-Man K-Style, Mad Mike Sports, is that we were never looked at as the people that is typical, atypical. We're not that. All right. We talk with a swagger. We talk with, we put real life situations into what we speak. We do things from the absolute heart, and we're not focused on the money aspect of things. And as y'all seen time and time again, it's like we have me personally, I know K Styles and Jude had the same, and most of the people at AFN, all the people at AFN, like we're into helping people. It's like we're into helping people. Everybody that has ever come to Atlanta Falcons Nation in any way, shape, or form, every last one of these people have been successful. They have been monetized. They've been to the mountaintop, so to speak. Whether or not we agree with things or we conduct business with each other anymore, that's life. I'm not into that. But like I said, we're into helping people. That's what our mission is. I'm not here to be a friend for life. I would hope that would be the case, but my mission is to do God's work and to continue to help people as much as possible. Like I said, I tried to be a journalist. I tried to be a writer. They didn't let me. Nobody would help me. Nobody helped me at all. So guess what? You got to take the alternative route. So I got an opportunity to be of help, to be of service to our community. That's what I'm gonna continue to do. So with that being said, we truly appreciate you guys for joining us. But please hit that subscribe button, man. That 10K, we're gonna party like it's 1999. I walk right into that one, Oh my.
So until next time, people, man, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
You gotta get the heck up out of here.